Hi, my name is Edward Eugene. I have with me today Lamar Dixon. This is my brother. He is your age, sir?
26 years old.
Okay. He is 26. Lamar, we have a few questions for you that I would like to ask. I want to thank him for doing this interview.
Not a problem. Glad to be here.
Okay, first question. What do you consider to be old age and why?
I consider old age to be a state of retirement, somewhere where you feel comfortable enough to just sit, stay at home, and just live comfortably without having to go to a 9 to 5 on a regular basis. So, and if we're talking in terms of numbers, I'd say close to around these days, 65 and 70 should be about the time to just, call it quits. Take time to be at home and relax.
So do you see yourself retiring at 65?
Most definitely, 65. If I don't get involved in politics.
Okay. Second question. What types of things are you doing to live a healthy life?
Well, at this point, the most concern I have with reference to living a healthy life, or at least maintaining or having a healthy life, is in fact getting health care. And for someone of my age, health care is now the big thing. You have to have it. It's included on your tax records and everything of that nature. But aside from that, being able to have that doctor for steady checkups and to be able to have that place to go and not have to worry about bills or expenses and things like that, to know that these things are taken care of, I think that's a big healthy step in everyone's life, because it makes them more aware of what's going on with their bodies, having that availability to check on those things.
So do you feel as though healthcare is important?
I do. Healthcare is definitely important.
Okay. So what do you think you should do or you could do in the future to live a healthier life?
Definitely, I could most definitely eat better. I mean, here with reference to the culture that we have in Louisiana, and especially with the culture of my particular family, butter.
Yes, we do have good food out here.
I mean, it's delicious. I mean, butter. Simple, And aside from butter, you're dealing with pork, and you're dealing with the leaner side of beef and different things of that nature. And let me tell you, we know how to spin it in to go, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy for you. So I would definitely say eating better at this point is something that's absolutely necessary.
Okay. So how old do you expect to live, to be on this earth?
Somewhere between 70 and 80. And one of my prayers is this: Lord, when you take me out of here, I just wish that all the parts are still working right. So about 70 or 80, and it's just a good, complete, full life. I have no complaints. I've had time to be in retirement mode and just chill and everything, and just all the parts are working right, Lord. We're good.
I agree. All the parts need to be working right. Okay. On average, how old have your family have members of your family lived?
Well, that's a really, really good question. Simply because it's a mixed basket. On my dad's side of the family, my grandfather and grandmother lived into her 80s. Grandfather lived into his 60s. But my dad died when he was 49. So it's like a big old toss-up. All over the place. And, I mean, my grandmother, 82, that's a good old complete life. Grandfather, 65, around that age. And with reference to my dad, well, he died of a heart attack. So, with reference to eating better and watching what I'm doing and different things like that. And, I mean, that was just on that side of the family. Aside from random events, I would say the most significant thing on mom and dad's side with reference to my mother's my mother's mother, and even her grandmother, and all of those, the bigger thing on their side of the family too was congestive heart failure, or something to deal with heart. Again, going back to that great thing that we love to mix in our food and make it taste the classic way, things like that.
Good seasoning.
Butter and the seasoning and things of that nature. So it really does affect us. But I would say, heart disease and heart health would be one of the biggest things that I have to look at this point, because that's what took a lot of them out, And maybe they could have lived longer lives had they not, used that much saturated fats in the foods that they ate. So, something that I have to look at now. You know, in the instance of my longevity. So.
Okay. We're gonna come to another question here. What type of things do you see yourself learning the rest of your life?
I definitely have got to learn another instrument.
Okay.
Aside from the instrument that I currently use, which is my voice, I need to learn an instrument to actually play. And I just love to learn how to play the piano. Aside from learning how to play the piano, I definitely would like to learn at least another language. And if not another language, 2 other languages,
I agree.
Just to be connected with the culture, different cultures and things like that. Really understand what they understand and know what they know. And to be able to go somewhere and to be able to connect with those people. Because language, aside from music, is one of those things that really gets us into the habit of knowing one another and comfortable around one another. Because I promise you, you take the steps to sit down and learn somebody else's language, you get to know what they're saying about yourself. And let me tell you, that's interesting in and of itself. We could just be a fly on the wall. Well, yeah. I know what you know, so.
I too would like to be bilingual.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great opportunity.
Now we're going to take the question back a little bit. This will be our last question. What do you think, or what do you wish you could have done in your youth? As far as health, finance, education, things of that sort.
Well, with reference to health, I would have definitely stayed the course with reference to the athletics I participated in high school and really kept that going into college versus kind of losing all of that.
And you played?
Football, baseball, first base and right field, and in track, I threw the shot put in the discus.
In what high school?
North Central High School. North Central High School. Let me tell you, the home of the Hurricanes. That was a pretty dope place. I really enjoyed myself there. Enjoyed myself so much. It was one of the things that inspired me to become a teacher so that I could go back to high school, and enjoy that time for a little bit more. With reference to education, I still have the opportunity to further that.
Okay.
I feel like I did very well in high school, top 10 in the class and things of that nature, and graduated out of college in a decent time span with multiple certifications. And so, I feel strong that the education will continue to be ongoing and not just stopping at a master's and, keeping it going further than that with reference to the doctorate, because I believe everybody has the capacity to continue to learn and to keep that going.
I agree. Learning
it's nothing that should just stop. We all have brains that are active and functioning and working. Like doctors don't just go to school for 8 years and just quit. They have to continue to learn and keep up and know the ins and outs about everything that's going on. That doesn't stop in any other area of expertise, Just like in education, we have to constantly keep up with what's going on with children and society and culture to know how to get through to the society and culture that we're faced with on a regular basis. And your last point was what again?
Finance.
Oh my God.
Touchy one.
It is touchy, but had I known in college how much I could have literally just saved until the end of that career and really just walked out of there with in my pocket, no bills, no nothing, I definitely would have stayed that course and been $30,000 richer.
And a lot of people are in that same boat with you as far as student loans.
And graduating with no money. Like, I have a degree, I'm proud of it, I'm glad of it, but I don't have any money. So definitely would have wanted to do something better with respect to that. So if I could say anything to anybody who was faced with that situation, don't go to the mall. Don't try to put all your energy into a junk car. Don't try to put all of your energy outside in these areas of fashion and things like that when that's not what you're there for. That's not the goal here. The goal here is to get myself jump-started into actual, real adult life. And one of the other things that goes in line with that is, had I known that it would have been this serious with reference to after graduation, nobody's calling, nobody's, giving you a pep talk. You really have to go out there and do it on your own. And for those that really don't have a relationship with God, don't go to church. I can only imagine that it's 10 times harder for them. Because I know personally I'd lose my mind if it was up to me.
I think I would too.
But I'm so glad that he's put me in a position to understand where I am, appreciate that, respect it, and prepare myself to move higher and higher and higher. So,
wise words from a wise man. Well, Mr. Lamar Dixon, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for doing this interview.
not a problem. Glad I could be here this evening.
And that'll be a wrap. Y'all have a good day.